Have you ever encountered these expressions before? I don't game anymore because it's boring. It's just not the same anymore. I'm just tired of it. Why do games feel like they're dying out? The video game industry isn't the same anymore. Gaming is dead.
It's time to stop.
For a beloved pastime for millions worldwide that offers immersive escapes and thrilling first-time memories, it's pretty common to hear people talk about their falling out with gaming, usually due to an imaginative and undescribed weight that lingers. And to be honest, I fell into this hole not too long ago too. But why? Hey, my name is Billy, and we'll be talking about the progression of gaming enjoyment we can typically go through and why that can relate with gaming fatigue, because think about it, gaming at the end of the day is supposed to be enjoyed however you want, but when you start to have these notions about games where you may have spent a good amount of time on or genuinely love doing, I think it is important to at least know why and to see if it is something that is more artificial or subconscious versus the lack of true enjoyment. Before we start though, please leave a like and press the subscribe button if you enjoyed this video, as I love making these, and additionally, if you are able to relate or disagree, feel free to drop down a comment below. I'm curious about what you guys think as well. But what are some of the reasons as to why we even play games in the first place?
Alright, check it out.
This was my favorite.
One of the most sought out moments we look for are positive recollections. When I'm recalling on my own memories in gaming, I tend to gravitate towards the good. Those first memories of a game that stand out. An amazing narrative, an amazing battle system, an amazing and vast world to explore. One I specifically recall my exposure to gaming. It's 2005-2006, and I'm just sitting beside my dad watching him play Unreal Gold. Honestly a gem nowadays since people only know the Unreal Tournament series, but that was my first display to a genre that really clicked with me, first-person shooters.
One enemy remaining.
Nice, you're better.
I also steer close to the funny times as well. Those early moments I had playing multiplayer games with my old groupie of friends. That first time I entered a shitty competitive tournament with my friends.
Oh my, what the?
Was that a 360 right there, or am I?
The initial cathartic release when you capture a moment in time is priceless.
But there is a caveat to this arrangement.
Moments like these tend to be just initial, meaning the more you play or play games in general, you eventually don't fabricate as many memories and just go through the motions. I'm not saying they can't make memories with them at all. Oh, I found some. But for example, starting a new Minecraft world doesn't hold a candle in terms of learning the game and gaining the fundamentals needed compared to the first time, but that's okay. As the increase in popular streaming mediums mainstream better gameplay and knowledge of particular games over the years, that brings me to getting good at games.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
Whether single or multiplayer, after you get over the original impression waves of awkward discoveries and begin a consistent intake of progression for a game, that is where the enjoyment seems to typically lie in nowadays medium. Note how I mentioned progression, and not just a good narrative and gameplay, because even though plot and mechanics just like Xenoblade could be considered one of my favorite games of all time, I spent insanely more time on tactical shooters. It wasn't until around 2015 when I got introduced to CSGO. Before then, my friends and I really only dabbled in MMOs like MapleStory or any goofy games like Gary's Mod. And initially, CSGO was just another game on the side with the homies. That was until we started ranked. I grinded and grinded. I got addicted. I hit Supreme Masterclass. I got even more addicted and started playing third-party services like Faceit and ESEA, and I thought I was pretty good at the game. I even entered ESEA's Open League. The bracket system goes Open, Intermediate, Main, Advanced. We even got to go against Pain Gaming, a top-tier competitive team. I mean, we got shit on, but at the end of the day, we even made playoffs and I was recruited for Intermediate and Main League teams. This progression of mine fed this addiction until the team I was with decided to kick me off, and immediately I became bitter towards the game I literally spent over 3,000 hours on. I wanted to try something else. Well, turns out my friend had a spare ride account and Valorant just came out. I wasn't initially hooked, but something just clicked when I realized it was just CSGO with abilities, or that's how I played it at least.
Oh, she got the wavy hands out.
One enemy remaining.
I eventually reached Immortal 3 on the account as well as Immortal 1 on my main, accumulating the top 0.2, 0.1 percentile at the time. And man, the adrenaline rush you get by doing a good play is just, oh, so crisp, so good.
One enemy remaining. Nice.
Now, this doesn't apply to just multiplayer games too. Progressing and improving your knowledge of a game, speedrunning tactics, learning exploits and glitches, even the bare minimum of just playing the game to play, to get through the plot, those can be intertwined with what we call fun. But eventually, something happened. I have never been any top rank in any of these games. I have never been a hardcore completionist, I've never been a hardcore speedrunner, and for the most part, the main majority of a player base will be like this. We peak. We've hit the max cap and or intaking the game at such a slow pace, we feel stilted. Everyone can create the opportunity to go beyond and make something of it. But to be truly blunt, I do believe in the notion that not everyone can reach those heights in everything. Some people have the drive, natural adaptation, and talents in order to pursue. Some would need to play 4 times as long to even get a glimpse over that skill barrier. And if you're in the latter half like me, when it comes down to the end of it, we slowly get agitated, and we slowly see ourselves fall apart.
Omen, help me, bro. Omen!
Remember, this is something we love to do. It also doesn't help that because I spent so much time on these tactical shooters, which are very much team-based, the social interactions are great until you get a team of assholes, griefers, or throwers, anything to help diminish your original passion more. One of the biggest gripes of Valorant as a game is the community. I think it's a very cringy and adolescent-natured community, both in the content people create about it and how people act themselves. I say something slightly critical about a round we just lost, and I will be met with the player who immediately decides to throw and grief the rest of the game because they don't care, and play the competitive matchmaking mode to ruin that integrity.
Bro, you gotta line up chain, bro. It ain't that serious.
If you play Counter-Strike or Valorant, you will know exactly what I mean. We are at the peak of our individual skill and gameplay, maybe socially, and lastly, mentally. Other reasons why we find ourselves falling out of gaming can be due to this repetitive structure in nature. Get this, doing tasks or quests or grinding to become better can be very enjoyable, but it can also be the demise of it too. We have to do our dailies in Genshin, then play the story quest, then do the current events out right now, just so that we can get as many materials as possible, get ahead as much as we can, and be as strong as possible. How about I just play the game at my own pace? Sure, I miss out on some cool stuff, but is that better than the expense of falling out of such an enjoyable experience? Knowing how things will play out can feed dopamine, but at the same time, that type of investment can only be brought up so many times, whether it's 1 to 2, 3, a dozen, or even 100 games. And I think it's because we eventually are able to correlate these with something that we kind of stop enjoying them. I would go as far as even saying that it's like the players are slowly growing out of games. However, I think when people say it like this, it's hella stupid. Rather, gaining more responsibilities, I would say, has caused an influx on your entertainment. It can be hard trying to live a good life, get a good job, study hard in school, have a social life, work out, etc. But maturing is realizing that millions will still be impacted and enjoy their gaming experience. And unlike the sad and grumpy gamers that claim that they don't have anything else to play, a common factor, or at least I found myself in, I kept playing similar games with the mindset from earlier. Not only that, I love all types of genres, but I realized about a year ago that I can play much more than just tactical shooters and still enjoy my time. My skill in the game, that time I spent to get better, doesn't just dictate my enjoyment. So I finally tossed competitive games aside, haven't been playing them as seriously, and I've just played a ton of it less. I picked up and finished Elden Ring, Final Fantasy 16, I replayed Majora's Mask and Pokemon, I'm about to make a Star Ocean video, and I've been playing an old platformer that I love. Many of the people that feel tired may have similar experiences to me of being a bit narrow-minded. Not insultingly, but they just haven't gone out of their zone to play something else. Gaming is such a vast medium. We have games that literally play like movies, simulation games, platformers, RPGs, third-person shooters, the list can go on. Just take your time. If you aren't enjoying yourself, put it down and come back later, because there's another adventure waiting for you. Hey, it's Billy, and I got some Skittles for you guys. One for me too. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, press that like button, put a comment down below if you felt that this was relatable, press that subscribe button if you enjoyed it. I really appreciate the support on the last Pokemon video, and if you guys stayed until the end, I just appreciate you in general. Thank you for clicking on this video. I'm cooking up a Star Ocean video pretty soon, so hope you guys look forward to that. Besides that, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.